Hey, this is Johnny Cerrone. You know, the head of the Cerrone crime family? Yeah, that one. Well, anyways, thank you for listening to my buddy Dion's.
Johnny, I'm choking a fucking meatball. Get your ass over here.
Hey, why don't you watch your fucking mouth? You know, I told you not to come in here while I was recording.
You know my vision's fucked up. Tell me to wash my fucking mouth and blow your face off, Johnny.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. Anyways,
Yeah, you say you're sorry. I'm
I
sorry
gotta
too,
go kill
alright?
me a couple,
Alright, let's talk it out.
I gotta go kill me a couple of guineas.
Alright,
Anyways,
that's fine. I'm gonna go argue with my second wife.
enjoy the show.
Well, how about that Johnny character? He's a real Scrooge McDooge if I ever seen one in my life. Hey, everybody. Good evening on this wonderful night, and welcome to Generation Rising. And I'm your host, Dion. I'm not going to tell you my last name, so don't ask about it, alright? Anyways, how y'all doing? Huh? You guys doing alright? Yeah? Okay. Anyways, welcome to the show. Okay, so to describe myself, I am a young male. I live in Indiana. I believe in cognitive thinking. I like reason and things of that nature. Oh yeah, how crazy, huh? That's insane. Anyways, about the show is yeah, this is my new show, and sorry for the lame introduction. I'm gonna get better as I go along. I want to have a wide range of topics, stemming all the way from philosophy to music to random events in the public and our own community and stuff like that. And I'm going to want to invite a lot of guests on so we can hang out and chill and talk a lot of smack and not be PC, because this is an anti-PC show and I don't really give a shit. I'm not trying to be rude though. I'm not a rude guy. So yeah, this show is going to be really good. It's going to be a lot of shows, and I hope this turns into something pretty good and pretty big, and I can do a lot of things with this, and that's only going to be with the help of all you wonderful listeners out there, because you guys are just too cool for school. So yeah, I'm going to me and my buddy of mine, because I am a junior web developer, and me and a buddy of mine right now, we're trying to work on creating a website to the part we can host these wonderful media files that you're going to be downloading and listening to. And I'm going to open up a Facebook page. We're going to have an Instagram, and we're going to basically turn this whole social media thing into a wide, crazy thing that's going to be awesome and amazing. And so, yeah, a lot of the topics, like I said, they're going to consist of current events, which is going to be really boring, but I'm going to make it really entertaining. I'm not going to be like CNN or Fox News and be like, oh, yeah, well, the shooter was, a crazy sycophant who was on antidepressants. No, I'm going to tell you that other things. I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on great things, awesome things. Yeah, and I'm a huge science fanatic. I want to talk a lot about astronomy and the great works that's going on there, along with NASA and the Higgs boson and wonderful things such as that, and evolutionary standpoints. I'm going to talk about my main man, Rich Dawkins, Mr. Lawrence Krauss, old man Christopher Hitchens. If you guys don't know them, you guys need to go check them out. You really do. You definitely do. We're going to get into studies and topics along the lines of philosophy. In the next show, I'm going to have one of my good old buddies on, and we're going to legitimately go through, in my opinion, one of the greatest books of all time ever written, and like nobody in the world has ever heard of it. Yeah, it's pretty depressing. It's some legit hipster thing, I guess. If you want to get down to it, be like, oh my god, you're such a hipster. You read all these crazy, crazy books. Yeah, so what? All right, get off my back about it. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to talk a lot about philosophy and the study of life, and basically the whole main goal of this is just to get you guys actively engaged and involved in some sort of curricular thing besides the good old NBA. Even though I do love sports, I'm not denying sports whatsoever, but I do think us as a nation, us as a people, we spend too much of our time talking about stuff that does not matter at all whatsoever. And I mean that doesn't matter by the fact that this whole thing could shut down and legitimately I would still be in the same exact position. I would not feel a single thing. Maybe regret, because I like watching it on my TV. But besides that, I think I would be okay. So, Like I said, we're going to be talking about things that actually matter, and maybe things that even don't matter. I'm just going to bullshit sometimes, and that's okay. If you guys want to listen to it, you go listen to it. And I want to hear your guys' input. You know, comment, share, subscribe, like all that good stuff. All those, you know, good old social media warriors always say and stuff. I want to copy them a little bit, and that's all right. Right? I've got to play the game somehow, you know? Anyways, I guess along the line of myself is, I was talking to my one buddy about this, trying to figure out how I'm going to explain myself without putting myself in a hole or putting myself in a position where I'm labeling myself, which I really, really don't want to do, but people are going to label me anyways. So I'm trying to think of a good way to talk about myself, because I don't like talking about myself, and this show is not about talking about myself. It's about talking with all of you, and enjoying that. So I'm going to spend as little time as possible talking about myself. So here it goes. Hopefully I can make this in shorter than 120 seconds. So yeah, in my heart, I'm an anarcho-punk. I love the idea of anarchism, but I don't think that's my idealistic side talking. I don't believe it's a realistic viewpoint of the world, but I do believe that it should be respected. Along the lines of that, I am actively engaged in politics, and that might be a lot of turn off of a lot of you, but I do understand my reality, my situation, that politics do affect my life, and I like to be involved with things that affect my life, such as my taxes, my foreign policy, my country, where we go to war at, where we spend our taxes, where our taxes go. I do believe we need a lot more money in education. I do believe we need to fund so many great programs that we just completely ignore because we have to build up a wall to protect ourselves from Mexicans and terrorists because, you know, we can't do that stuff, right? Yeah, of course. I'm not big into conspiracies. I was a Alex Jones listener, and I still do listen to his crazy self. And yes, I do have to credit him to the fact of helping me become a skeptical thinker. So I do credit him with that. But as far as along the lines of what he talks about and how he goes about things and creating a sort of crazy sensation and making people a whole bunch of cynical robots, I do not engage, nor do I like that. So I don't like to be cynical, but I do like to be skeptical. And there's a huge, huge difference that I really feel people need to understand. A lot of people are very, very cynical these days in every single part of their lives. They are cynical because of the fact that they believe that a big one world government controls every aspect of their life, and that every single thing that they do, they shouldn't do because it doesn't matter anyways. That is terrible. That is very bad. And me being a father, want a better world for my child. And a better world for my child does not entail not doing anything. It entails doing something. Whether that something is monumentous and whether that something means that you will fail, that something is better than sitting around and just acting like it's all done. It doesn't matter what you do. Don't even vote, man. It doesn't matter anyways, bro. Don't even get involved in politics. It's all a bunch of bullshit anyways. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. But I want to know why. Because it wasn't always that way. There was a melting point. And I truly believe in my mind that one of the melting points was people got comfortable. We are living in the easiest time in human history. Don't freak out on me, but let me explain to you why. I understand the bills are hard to pay. I'm right there with you, buddy. But the mere fact that I can go down to my grocery store, buy a pound of hamburger, buy a loaf of bread, bring it back, cook it on my nice little stove in my heated little kitchen with my nice little air conditioning in the summer, I have it really good. I have it very good. I have a lot better than our ancestors once had back around the lines of like 1,000 or 2,000 or even maybe even 350 so years ago. So yes, we live in a very easy time and we can take a lot of things for granted because we have that easy time. So it is in my purpose, I believe as a person, is to make sure that we stay actively engaged in things that we can feel so comfortable about. Because back in the day, a lot of things mattered. How you lived your life, which way the country was going, because it was new and forming, so everybody wanted to be involved. Nobody wanted to be left behind. So people were very, very engaged. They were very, very fervent about what they believed in. And you do see that nowadays, I guess, if you really want to get down to it, along with this election with the far left Bernie Sanders supporters, who I actually love and I would completely vote for him in an instant, and the far right Donald Trump supporters who, you know, for all rights intentions, they vote for him. I'm glad they're speaking out about it. I don't wish to shut either one side down because I believe it's a consequence of our system being being in a state of inaction for such a very long time that this thing kind of had to happen. And it's up to us to the point where it goes. I hope people stay actively involved, but I hope people can have a dialogue. Because if we don't have a dialogue, that means we don't have anything. And I guess a dialogue is not the important thing, is because is in my definitely 100% belief that you can have a dialogue all you want. Growing up, I used to think that, from Dr. Phil's standpoint, if we all talked and held each other's hand and we just talked it out, everything would be okay. Talking it out is the first step, and that's a very good thing. It's better than silence, better than not a person not even sitting down with you. So if you do get to sit down and you do get a chance to talk, that's a fantastic thing. But if you're talking to a person who, no matter what you say, will not change their mind, then that's a problem. And I think that's where we are. We all have a voice now. We're the age of social media. We're in the age of where everybody can have an opinion and everybody can say what they want to say, and without judgment, without recourse, you can say anything to anybody. I used to dream as a little kid writing a letter to an MLB superstar. I used to write them and send it to their the Cubs headquarters, and I used to write Marcus Robinson in the Bears and hope that he would read my sloppy, disgusting handwriting and be like, write me back and tell me how cool I was and all that stuff. But nowadays, you legitimately have every single superstar that has a Twitter, and you can tweet at them. And I'm very jealous of you kids. And that's an awesome thing, because you can tweet at awesome all-stars. You can tweet at your awesome musicians. You can, PM people. That's crazy to me. That's insane to me. I'm only 25 years old, and that is absolutely bonkers to me. I wish I would have been able to get noticed by Walter Payton. You know what I mean? I wish I would have been able to do that without having to write on a piece of paper and spend 25 minutes and then go get a stamp and then get an envelope and then put the stamp on the envelope, write my stuff correctly, then give it to the mailman. Then wait 2 or 3 days for it to get to him. Then wait 2 or 3 days for him to read it just to get a response 3 or 4 weeks later. Yeah, that's freaking insane. Oh my God, Twitter is awesome. Facebook is fantastic. Let's engage. Let's revel in it. But like I was saying, back to my original point, is we all have a voice. And now everything is starting to become drowned out, and you don't really get accepted for what you truly say, because you're just a guy on a Facebook, one of the millions of users, and you can freaking look at me. My take got knocked out last night. I guarantee people are blowing up her Twitter page, blowing up her Facebook, Instagram. Oh, what a chump! What a chump! I mean, you guys are, number one, you guys are terrible people. Why would you even say that to the girl? That's very mean. And number two, I mean, she has legitimately the ability to go through and see what your comments say to her about her. And I legitimately have the right to view the comments that are said about me, and you have the right to view the comments that are said about you, and you can see all these things, and you can hear all these different people that you would never come across of. You would never come across them, and without the internet. And now they all have a say. So, number one, we become too cynical to the point where we don't even realize our own selves. We don't want to engage. We don't want to talk about anything because we just believe that everything is just, it is the way it is, Dion. You're not going to change it, man. You're just a cog in the machine of awful craziness. I really do understand your despair. I 100% agree with your despair, but I don't agree with your inaction. And a call to action for all of you people out there is, by trying to fix something, that doesn't mean that you have to engage yourself in the stupid two-party system that we have. No, of course not. I mean, let people like politicians who really want to delve into that, let them get into that. But you can do something too. Of course you can do something. And if that's creating a Facebook page, if that's doing a podcast like this, I mean, that probably won't get any views. I won't get any views for a while, but if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. If you want to be an artist and draw awesome pictures to paint your whole view on society, let your views be known. No matter what they are, no matter if I'm not a Christian, but if you want to be a Christian, you want to be an artist, go ahead and make the beautifulest portraits of Jesus Christ in the world. Express yourself. Don't deny that. Don't deny your self-expression. That's the only thing that you have that is given to you on this earth is your self-expression. Don't ignore that. So like I said, I'm not telling you to be a politician. Become an artist. Make music. Make a movie. Write. That's a lost art nowadays, especially among this generation, is writing. Who wants to write? I try to write. I have a couple pen pals that I try to stay up upon. I mean, I try to get down to it in a busy, crazy global economy that we all live in, where we all have a very, very few moments to ourselves. I mean, it's really hard to actually legitimately set aside time and be like, okay, the world has to stop, and I got to write this 2 pages of asking questions, and I have to go through the whole post office process, and it's a pain, but it's a lost art form that needs to consist and it needs to be. Get into science. Go along a field that expands our consciousness. Whether it's an evolutionary biologist or whether it's a physicist that's going to understand dark matter or whatever you want to do. But just the fact of the matter is, don't be content with doing something or doing something that you hate. If you have a regular job and you love it and you're a company man, I ain't going to fault you for that. I'm not. I kind of wish in a way that I could just be content with doing that. Unfortunately, I just don't feel in my heart that I can be. But that doesn't mean that you can't be, and doesn't mean that it's wrong for you to be. We need drivers, we need janitors, we need fast food workers. We need them. It's not like we want them. It's not like they're disposable people. No, we legitimately need people like that. So if that's, how you feel, that's how you can truly express yourself, is by being a hard-nosed iron worker like a lot of my uncles were, and working 60 to 80 hours a week, building up a pension for their family, and just slaving over it, having a good union job. That's fantastic. That's amazing. Please, the middle class must be, in order for this country to maintain its impact on the world that it had. It's not, that's what made America so crazy and great and vibrant and awesome and amazing, was that big middle class. Those people along the whole lines of those big truck drivers, those huge construction workers, those iron workers, steel workers. There is no shame in being that. The shame is coming from us as a community and us as a middle class being shaved away by the top. We're being shaved away. Our wages are going down. I mean, it's hard to feel respect in a job that you don't really get paid for, but you got to work and give your whole entire life for. When they don't offer a 401k, when they don't offer a pension package, when the only thing they offer you is just a check for you to live by week. Yeah, it's hard to have dignity. It's hard to have respect for your job. So if you do have a job that you can't have respect and dignity in, man, dig it. Dig it until you get something else. Dig it till you can find something else. But be yourself. Love it. Be happy. Because a lot of people in the world, they wish they would have that, and that's awesome, man. I'm not downplaying it at all, but I'm saying it's a call to action for everybody. It's just don't be a Facebook warrior, where you're so comfortable in your own worldview that, you just want to lash out at people who make a stupid thing. Like, I see hard right-wing Republicans all the time. As soon as a liberal post happens and stuff, they're like, oh my God, you're just a dumb hippie liberal, man. You don't get the world, and I'll smash you in the face because you don't agree with me, bro, because I'm a man. I'm an alpha male, dog. Okay, all right. Then I also see from the far left liberals when the hard-nosed conservatives post something, oh man, you're so incorrect and racist and stupid. Why don't you go back to your cave and your Neanderthal? Well, that doesn't help either of those insults. It's funny, I get it. I love trolling. Honestly, I'm a huge troll, but in the grander scale of things, it doesn't really solve anything. The other guy sitting on the other computer, if he feels any sense of tension and he feels heated about it, then you actually probably won, because at the end of the day, that post doesn't matter. It's just going to drift off into the infinity of other ignorant, crazy posts in the world. So do what you love, do what matters, and do something. I'm going to be here for you the whole entire way. I want to hear from you. I would love to get to know everybody that listens to the show. I'm going to talk about a lot of atheist standpoints on here. I'm going to talk about a lot of different things on this podcast. I'm going to want to invite a lot of artists. I really do. And I want to sit all of us down, and so we can all talk and we can all get together on things. So let me know what I can do for you guys. And that's it, man. Have a wonderful night. Seriously, outro. Johnny Cerrone is going to come in here. He's going to freaking blast me in the back of the head at any time now. I'm not joking. I am joking. So seriously, good night, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you all for joining me and listening to the first episode of Generation Rising. I know it was a rough one. Give me a couple episodes and I promise you I'll get better at it. If you hung in this far, I super appreciate it, man. I will freaking do my best to give back as much as possible. I do have one thing I would like to say before I completely go off air is if you have any bands that you want me to plug in, like if you guys have any music coming out or you know anybody, like a friend who has a band, you want me to plug their show dates, or let them know if they have any new music coming out, I would absolutely love to do that, and I will give up time to my show to plug you guys 100%. If you are any artists out there who have any open galleries that you would like me to plug in, tell you guys what's going on, where they're at, I have absolutely no problem doing that. I'll do that. Message me. Please follow me on Facebook. Generation Rising is the page. I'm going to put up an Instagram, like I said. The website's in the works, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. Thank you anyways. You guys have an awesome night. Good night. Tell them good night, baby.
Good night.
All right, bye, guys.